Your scan tool says the new oxygen sensor is stuck rich, and your engine is stumbling. So you're asking, is the new part you just put in already bad? The new sensor is probably not the problem. When a quality oxygen sensor gets stuck reading rich right after you install it, it's almost always pointing to something else. The three most common causes are using the wrong type of sensor: a hidden exhaust leak just upstream of the sensor, or a simple problem in the wiring connector. Let's start with the sensor itself. If you installed a generic aftermarket part or a so-called universal oxygen sensor, that could be the entire issue right there. Your vehicle's engine control unit, or ECU, is programmed with a very narrow window of what to expect from that sensor. It needs to see a specific electrical resistance from the sensor's internal heater, and it expects the voltage signal to sweep up and down very quickly within a precise range. Many universal sensors just don't match these factory calibrations perfectly. Their response time might be a fraction too slow, or their voltage reading could be slightly off from what the ECU expects. Your computer sees this sluggish or incorrect signal and interprets it as a rich condition fault, even if the engine's air-fuel mixture is actually fine. The ECU then tries to fix this non-existent problem by pulling a large amount of fuel from the engine. That's when you see your short-term fuel trims drop heavily into the negative, often below -15%. This sudden lack of fuel is exactly what causes the engine to hesitate, stumble when you accelerate, and get terrible gas mileage. Now let's say you are certain you used a high-quality, original equipment manufacturer replacement part from a trusted brand like Denso or NTK, and you still have that rich reading that won't go away. In this situation, the next most common cause is a physical exhaust leak. This is the one that tricks a lot of people. The leak has to be located directly upstream of the sensor. That means somewhere between the sensor itself and the engine. Common spots are a cracked exhaust manifold or a blown-out gasket where the manifold bolts to the cylinder head. Now, you might think an exhaust leak would let in extra air and cause a lean reading, and usually you'd be right. But a large leak right in this specific spot can do the exact opposite. It messes up the normal flow of exhaust gases out of the engine's cylinders, a process called scavenging. When this flow is disrupted, it can allow little pockets of unburnt raw fuel to get trapped and pool up right around the tip of the oxygen sensor. The sensor does its job perfectly. It detects this raw fuel and immediately sends a strong, rich signal to the engine control unit. The computer believes the sensor and pulls fuel, leading to the same stumbling and rough running you're feeling. If you've confirmed you have the right sensor and you're sure there are no leaks, the third major cause is purely electrical. The problem is almost always at the wiring harness connector where the oxygen sensor plugs in. The signal that the sensor sends to the computer is a very small voltage, measured in millivolts, which are just thousandths of a volt. For this tiny signal to be read accurately by the ECU, it has to have a perfectly clean and solid ground connection. If that connector has any corrosion inside, it might look like a white or green crusty powder, or if any water has gotten in, it can create high electrical resistance on the signal ground wire. This extra resistance effectively raises the zero point for the signal. The computer sees this skewed voltage and interprets it as a higher number. And for an oxygen sensor, a higher voltage means a rich condition. Even something as simple as wire insulation that has melted from touching the hot exhaust can create a short or add resistance. sending that same false rich signal to the computer. So, how do you figure out which of these is your real problem? A systematic approach is best. First, start with your scan tool. With the engine fully warmed up and idling, pull up the live data graph for that Bank 1 sensor 1. You will likely see its voltage is pegged high, probably staying above 0.8 volts. At the same time, look at your short-term fuel trims. You should see them driven far into the negative, maybe below negative 15%, as the computer desperately tries to lean out the mixture. Now, hold the engine speed steady at 2,500 revolutions per minute for at least a full minute. A healthy sensor that was just slow to warm up will get enough heat and exhaust flow at this speed to start switching its voltage correctly. If that voltage stays stuck high and the fuel trims stay low, even at this higher engine speed, you can be much more confident that the sensor itself is not the problem. Your next step is to physically inspect the wiring. Turn the engine off and let everything cool down completely. Find the oxygen sensor's electrical connector and unplug it. Use a bright light and look very closely at the metal pins and sockets on both sides of the connector. Are they clean and shiny? Or do you see any signs of moisture, any green or white powder from corrosion, or any melted or distorted plastic on the connector housing or the wires leading to it? Even if it looks perfectly clean, it is always a good idea to use a dedicated electronic contact cleaner to thoroughly spray and clean the harness pins. This simple step can remove any invisible film or oxidation that could be adding just enough resistance to skew the signal. Finally, if you're certain you used a quality sensor and the wiring connector is spotless, it's time to hunt for that upstream exhaust leak. With the engine cold, start with a visual inspection. Look for obvious signs like black soot trails around the exhaust manifold flange gaskets, where they meet the cylinder head. You can run your fingers carefully around the seams to feel for any rough spots, where a gasket might be pushing out. A small inspection mirror and a good flashlight are essential tools for looking for small cracks in the cast iron of an exhaust manifold, which can be very hard to see. A leak big enough to cause this kind of stuck-rich condition is often loud enough to hear. It will sound like a distinct ticking or puffing noise when the engine is first started from cold, a sound that may quiet down or disappear as the metal gets hot and expands to seal the crack. Ignoring a stuck-rich condition will cause consistently poor fuel economy, and the constant, incorrect fuel adjustments by the engine control unit can eventually send unburnt fuel into your catalytic converter, leading to damage. Finding the true cause, whether it is the wrong type of sensor, a bad electrical connection, or a hidden exhaust leak, will restore your engine's performance and prevent a much more expensive repair down the road. Before you condemn another new sensor, always check the fuel trims and the wiring first.